would notify some toxic comments, and here we can see. Well, now we can check it the points to be noticed. Well, now let's check it here we could notify. Well, Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michael Caesar. It is Santa. I am here with you. Accordance with titles, yes, today we are roasting Mufassil the Mentals in the topic of the FIFA World Cup 2026. And here we come to the moment that England versus Argentina match has been over in yesterday or second yesterday. But now, here why I am discussing about it, because here we can see the points Mufassil the Mentals contents and statements, where statement is now here significant moments. And here I know Bengalis, and here I understand that what is the statements of Mufassil the Mentals. Now here we can see the points. Now let's get the here intros has been over, and now let's come into the points. Here is a Facebook post of Mufassil the Mentals. Well, YouTube channel's name is Mufassil Islam. Okay. Now you can see this moments. Well, first paragraph is somehow correct, but now the problem issues is now in second paragraphs. Well, now what is the second paragraph's issue has been started? Paragraphs of Mufassil the Mentals. Now let's check it. Mufassil states that her motherland, her birthland is best for her, and now in these cases, when Mufassil the Mentals was at the stake, England always stand with the Mufassil the Mentals. Okay, and now Mufassil the Mentals is grateful with England, hence that Mufassil the Mental is a naturalized citizen. That is the statement of Mufassil the Mentals. Well, and now the next Mufassil the Mental's child would live in England. Well, Mufassil England always respect Mufassil the Mentals and provide the asylum to Mufassil the Mentals. Now it is the moments. Now let's come into the second paragraph. The second paragraph says that we are unfortunately, well, from Mufassil the Mental's motherland to be Bangladesh. Well, some in the several points, powerful persons gets the several grateful slaves, and here we can see this points. When Mufassil the Mentals is in England, here she lives as a British citizen, and she does not show the Bangladeshi flag on England, and in Bangladesh she does not show England's flags. Okay. Now what about the third paragraph? The third paragraph says, well, in Bangladesh, what is the logic of the logic that Argentine flags would be shown? Well, thus, per Bangladeshi citizen who show Argentine flags, is there a citizen of Argentina? Now, no emotions. State your points about with the logics. Okay. Now here we can see. Let's counter the first points about your paragraphs, and now the first point. Here my counters on your second paragraph is this is the clears. Well, it is the mistakes of the entered England that they provide you an asylum and they provide you an citizenship That is the mistakes by British government. I mean England governments. Why that is the why to provide asylum to you is the biggest mistake for the England governments. Here today's topic is about the FIFA World Cup 2026. And now, in this cases, you living in England in 20 years, hence you could see that in your comments the several liberals are showing their rally to support pro-Palestine against the existence of Israel. And now, what is the effects on that in this FIFA footballs? Here we can see these moments. Now let's check out the points about the FIFA footballs. Well, now we can see, we know that here Argentina defeat England in the score to be 2-1. I mean, unofficially I would state that white Argentina, the anti-black Argentina, defeat the pro-black England in the score of 2-1. Now let's take the points. And here some geopolitically, so here we can state that pro-Israel Argentina football team has get victory against pro-Palestine England in the score of 2-1. What is the reasons? And here reasons is the significant clear the points, and it is the reason is significant to be explained. Okay. Now here we can see this points in this cases. Well, the match between England versus Argentina, when we could check the pro-Israel Argentine football team's performance, here we could notify here 50% scored and 50% goal has been scored by defenders and 50% goal scored by home midfielders. There was no goal scorer to be striker in pro-Israel Argentine football teams. But still, here pro-Israel Argentina has defeated the pro-Palestine England in the score of 2-1 goals. And that is the significant moments. And now, here we can notify at the points. Now let's take at the moments. Well, okay, the first of all, here we can see, well, what is the football strategies of England? Here we can analyze it. Here we can notify it is here. Okay, it is almost somehow four defenders, two midfielders, three wingers, and one strikers. Okay. Next about the moments and what is we can get positions. Well, here we can see the length of football ground is almost 110. Okay. Now here we can see here is in 4 layers. Well, and now let's check it. We can assume here we can set the points. What is 110 divided by 5? That is here 22. And what is, well, 22 multiplied by 2? That is here 44. Okay. Now here we can see this points. Now in this moments, well, Anthony Gordon's the goal scorer of England is on the is on the positions where the position is 44 meters away from the goal post as in accordance with the length. And now let's check at the moments. What is the goal positions at the moments? Here we can see. Well, here Anthony Gordon's position is here 44-meter length to Argentina and 20-meter length. I mean 20-meter one to Argentina and 10 goal post. Okay. Now, what is the actual distance of the positions of Anthony Gordon's, the pro-Palestine England footballers? And now here we can see these points. Well, what is 44 square? Well, that is 1936. That can be summed by words 400s. And here we can see, distance square is 2336. And now what is square root of 2336? That is here 48.32184. As a round figure, that is almost 48.333. Okay. Now here we can see those points. And now let's take the moments. And now here you can see these moments when England, in these positions when England football teams has been sent from England to FIFA World Cup 2026. It was the Prime Ministry of Keir Starmer in England. And here we can state this, here we can see, this Englander football team can be pro-Palestinian Englander football team. And now, let's check at the moment, what is the circumstance? Well, and here we can see this points. Well, in this cases, the pro-Palestinian Englander footballer velocity is 110 meter per hour. I repeat, pro-Palestinian Englander footballer's velocity is 110 meter per hour. This is the slowest footballer speed, as we could see. Now, I think their starters would be faster than pro-Palestinian Englander strikers. Okay. Now, in this cases, here we can see the points. What is the timing that pro-Palestinian Englander footballers could score goals? That we can see these moments. Here is the significant terms. Now, let's check it. Well, and here, now here we can see this points 48.333 can be divided by what? 110s. Okay. Now it is almost here 0.439391 hours. Now let's take it the moments. Well, 60 multiplied by 0.439391 hours. Now what is the moments? That is almost 26.36346 minutes. And now what is 60 multiplied by 0.36346 minutes? Oh my god. Here 60 multiplied by 0.3, I apologize, 60 multiplied by 0.36346 minutes. Now let's check it. That is almost 22 seconds. Okay. Now we can see these points. It is the clear-cut moments. Accordance with Anthony Gordon's positions, it was the clear here. With the velocity of pro-Palestinian England footballers' velocities, as we could notify, well, it would record 26 minutes 22 seconds to score one goal. And now here is the significant disaster moments. And now, well, we can see in the real times, well, Anthony Gordon scores here 44, and Anthony Gordon, the pro-Palestinian England footballer, scores one goal in 55 minutes. Now let's check at the points. What is the matters at the moment? In that cases, here is the six significant matters. Well, what is here 55 subtracted by 26? That is 35 subtracted by 6. That means here 29. And now we can see the response. What is 29 minutes? That is 28 minutes 60 seconds. Okay? Now let's check at the moments. What is 60 subtracted by 22? That is 40 subtracted by 2. That is 30. That means in that cases, Anthony Gordon starts to score goals, and then in 38 minutes 38 seconds, and in 55 minutes Anthony Gordon could complete the one scored goals. That was the moment. And here that is the slowness of pro-Palestinian England football teams. And now, in these cases, well, that is why Mufassil fundamentals always support pro-Palestinian England football teams. But what if here Mufassil fundamentals would stay against England football team, because England football team would be pro-Israel? I mean, what if England would be, England football team would be pro-Israel? In these cases, here is the moments. Well, one score, that would be the significant moments. Well, pro-Israel England footballer contains the velocity to be 297,000 kilometer per second. That means 297 million meter per second. Okay, to score one goal. And now let's check at the moments at the points. And here, if Anthony Gordon would be here pro-Israel England footballers, now what would be the velocities at the moment? If pro-Israel England footballers would be replaced would replace the Anthony Gordon, the pro-Palestinian England footballers, then what would be the score at the moment? In that cases, here is the calculation would be like, well, 48.333 to be divided by 297 million. Now let's check it. What would be the results? And now, in that cases, the results would be significant, and here we can see, well, in those cases, the moments, well, 48.333 can be divided by here 297 millions. And now let's check it what the moments. That would be here 1.63 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 7. That means it is almost here 0.163 microseconds. Well, now here you can see this points of as an left wingers of the England football team, where pro-Palestine Englander footballers requires here 26 minutes 22 seconds to score one goal, where in the cases pro-Israel Englander footballers could can score one goal in here 0.163 microseconds. And now where is 0.163 microseconds, and where is 26 minute 26 minute 22 seconds. Now it is the significant difference of the speed. And now in the cases, here is the moments. Pro Palestine and England football team is now show the symbol of the shame to the England audience. And now that is the significant moments at the points. But on the other hand, what about the Argentina? Well, let's talk about the pro-Israel Argentina. And now here we can see this moments pro-Israel Argentina. Well, here we can see the moments. As we know, here we could notify. Well, it is the strategies of Argentina is 3 layers. One layer contains 4 defenders, one layer contains 4 midfielders, and one layer contains almost what the moments? One layer contains almost 2 strikers. As we know, here we can see 4 Argentina scored 2 goals here, 50% goals scored by 1 defenders and 50% goals scored by 1 midfielders. Now here is the moments. Let's check what's going on. Okay. Now here we can see the points. When Argentina is pro-Israel's. Now let's check at the moments as we could see. Well, Lucatao Martinez. Okay. Here we can see. Yes, Lucatao Martinez here scored. Now here let's talk about the points. Fernandez scored 1 goal in 85 minutes. Now where was the Fernandez? Yes, he is in midfielders. Well, now what is his positions? His position is here 55 meter length and here 40 meter wide to here goal post of England. And now let's check at the points. What is the actual distance? Now here we can notify as an Pythagoras moments, and here we can see there's the significant moments. Well, what is 40 square? That is 100. What is 40 square? That means 16 hundredths. That can be summed by here. 55 squares. Where what is 55 square? That is 3025. Now let's check at the moments. What is the points at the manometers? Here distance square is 4625. And now what is the meaning of that? That is here 68.007353 meters. Okay. Now you can see the points. Here is the moments. Well, the distance between midfielder Fernandez and the goalpost of England is here 68.007353 meters, where the positions of midfielder Argentine midfielder Fernandez is here 55 meter length and 40 meters wide to the goalpost of England. And now that is their significant moments. It is almost 3 layers at sometimes. What would go in the points? And in these cases, here 50% goal scorer is the following pro-Israel Argentine midfielders. Okay. Now we can see the points when the Fernandez was pro-Israel Argentine midfielders. Here we can see what is his velocity. Here his velocity is 275,000 kilometer per second. That means 265 million meter per second. And here we can see the sparks. Now here is the calculations. What is the probable goalpost? And here we can see. Now here it is the points 68.0073 5 3 can be divided by 275 million. Well, now here what is the moments? That is almost 2.48 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 7 seconds. That means here as a goal score, the pro-Israel Argentine football team's reaction time is here 0.248 microseconds. And now let's check out the moments. That is the difference between the pro-Palestine England striker versus pro-Israel Argentine midfielders. And now we can see the response when pro-Palestine England footballers requires 26 minutes 22 seconds to score one goal. Here pro-Israel Argentine midfielders Fernandez requires here reaction time to be 0.248 microsecond to score one goal. And now here we can see the points. Well, 55 minutes, I apologize here, 85 minutes, Argentine midfielders, I mean pro-Israel Argentine midfielder Fernandez start to score goals as an 85 minutes, and he complete to score one goals in 85 minutes 0.248 microseconds. And now that is the football skills difference between pro-Palestine England football team versus pro-Israel here Argentine football teams. And now here is the moments. Now I think here Mufassil the mental would understand that why we pro-Israel start to support Argentina. Okay. Nowadays here we can see the points. Well, now what is the counter moments? The question was that the statement of the Mufassil the mental was England provide asylum to Mufassil the mentals. Okay. Now here you can see the points. When England provide asylum to Mufassil the mentals, silently Mufassil the mentals convert the England football team to be pro-Palestinian England football teams. As an effect, here we can see the points. Well, England strikers requires 26 minutes 22 seconds to score one goal. Here Englander, I mean where pro-Israel Argentine midfielders scored one goal in the reaction time of 0.248 microsecond in the final minute time to be 55 minutes 0.248 microseconds. Now it is the significant mindsets as we could notify. Okay. Now here we can see that is the points to be noted. Well. Now here the one of our points we have to mention. Here was in Martinez. Martinez scored here one goal in 90 some by 2 minutes. I mean 92 minutes. And here we can see the points. But the problem is here Martinez was the pro-Israel Argentine defenders. And here we state that here 50% goal scored by pro-Israel Argentine midfielders. Here we can notify that striker was not required to score goals, where striker is owned by pro-Israel Argentine football teams. That is the significant moments, and here is the dangerous points as notifiers. Okay, now let's check at the points. Martinez was in here defender side, and we can what is defender's geo coordinates accordance with the goal post of England. And here we can see the points. The defender pro-Israel Argentine defender Martinez position to accordance with the goal post of England is here 82.5 minutes. I mean 82.5 meters length and 20 meters wide. And now let's check at the moments. What is the distance? And here we can see this moments. Here now sometimes we could see that is the significant moments. Here as an Pythagoras, here we could notify the probable calculate geometries. Okay. Now here we can see accordance with Pythagoras theorems here. Well, 400. Okay. Now let's check at the points. What is here 400? Sum by here 82.5 square. Now let's check at the points. 400 sum by 82.5 square. Well, here that is here. What is 82.5 square? That is 68 point. I apologize. 6806.25 is 82.5 square. Now the summation of 6806.25 sum by 400 is 7206.25. Okay. Now let's take at the points. What is their Martinez pro-Israel Argentine defenders Martinez velocity, that is 275 thousands kilometer per second. That means 275 million meter per second. And now let's check at the moments. Okay, now here we can see this points. Well, now it is the significant terms at the what is the square root of 7206.25 to be square root, that is 84.88964. Okay, now 84.88964 can be divided by 275 millions meter per second, and here we can see what is the reaction times. Okay, the reaction time is 3.086896 multiplied by 10 to the power -7. That means here it is almost 0.309 microseconds. Okay. Now here you can see the points. And now let's check it the moments. And now we can see the moments. What is going on? Well, Here we can see here in 92 minutes here defender pro-Israel Argentine defenders Martinez start to score goals, and here in 92 minutes 0.309 microseconds pro-Israel Argentine defender Martinez completes one goal to be scored. And now here is the moment, that is the points to be noticed. And now, let's check it. What is the difference between pro-Palestine England striker versus pro-Israel Argentine defenders? We can say the points to score one goal. We are pro-Palestine England strikers requires 26 minutes 22 seconds. Here pro-Israel Argentine defenders Martinez requires almost here 0.309 microseconds. Now where is 0.309 microseconds and where is, here we can notify where is 26 minutes 22 seconds. And now let's check out the points according with the analysis. Now when these three footballers start to score goals, well, in this cases with the notifiers England strikers Anthony Gordon to be pro-Palestine start to score goals in 38 minutes 38 seconds. 38 minutes and 38 seconds. And here pro-Israel Argentine midfielders Fernandez start to score goals in 85 minutes. Yes. But pro-Palestine here England striker Anthony Gordon complete score goals in 55 minutes, and pro-Israel Argentine midfielders Fernandez scored complete one goal to be scored in 85 minutes. Here 0.243 microseconds. Now we can say the points. Where is their starting to score goals and where is their score goals complete? Yes. That is here significant moments that we can see the journeys at the moment points. On the other hand, let's compare between pro-Palestine England strikers Anthony Gordon versus pro-Israel Argentines defender Martinez. Now let's check at the moments. In the cases, here we could notify that is the circumstance at the moments when England strikers Anthony Gordon to be pro-Palestine start to score goal. That time was the time chance was 38 minutes 38 seconds, and where pro-Israel Martinez start to score one goal, that was 92 minutes. But when pro-Palestine Argentine pro-Palestine England their footballers Anthony Gordon complete the goals, that was complete time is 55 minutes. But when pro-Israel Argentines Fernandez complete score one goal, that is 92 minutes 0.309 microseconds. Now we can see these points. That is the complete moments. It is the mindset of the football skills. Now here we can see these points. How how pro-Israel mindset is the factor for Argentina to get a victory against the pro-Palestine football teams. That is the significant matters. Okay. Now here we can see in this following logic, here is the justified our decision that we support Argentina. And now let's take at the moments. That is the significant points to be notified. Okay. Now what about the in this case is the moments? Well, now let's check it. What if there would be here pro-Israel England football team versus pro-Israel Argentina football teams? Now it is clear the moments well in that cases here would be here tiebreakers, 56% probability in that here. In tiebreakers, England would be in finals, and 44% probability was that Argentina would be in finals. Now it is the clear-cut points here. When England football team begin pro-Palestine and Argentine football team began pro-Israel, that is the factors that here is the significant mathematics here why Argentine football team to be pro-Israel is in final. That is the significant, it justifies. And now we can state that here is a significant confusions. The here significant confusion is about the pro-Palestine England football team, that how they could they be in semi-finals. That would be the significant questions. And now let's check at the moments. Here we can see that is our justifications at the points. Okay. And now let's here we can see this is the first points. Well, now here we can see this moments. Mufassil the mentors when Mufassil the mentor could get the citizenship of England. That is the dark age for England. And here now pro-Palestine England football team to be defeated by pro-Israel Argentine football teams is just on the final fraction of the final results. And now that is there is some significant points we can say as moments. Okay. Now here we could notify. Well, now when here England strikers Anthony Gordon's to be pro-Palestine to try to score goals in here rest of the 30 minutes. In that cases here we can notice well the barriers. Who was the barriers? The barrier was pro-Israel Argentine football teams, 4 defenders. Okay. Who was the Argentine 4 defender to be pro-Israel? Here is the moment at the significant points. Okay. Now here we can see. Well. Now it is the moments here. These are Nahuel Molina and here Christian Romero, well Martinez, and here we can see Nicolas Tanjafrico. Okay. Now here we can see the spots. Now here is the significant events, and significant events is Lionel Messi. I mean Messi Netanyahu did not score any goals. Okay. Now let's check is what is Messi Netanyahu's positions. Okay. Well, in this cases at the moment, here is the justified moments. Well, what is here 11 and divided by 4? That is here 27.5. Well, Messi Netanyahu's position is well 27.5 5 meters length, here 20 meters wide to the goalpost of England. And now, here we can see when Messi Netanyahu would be active to score goals, well, what would be his reaction times? Well, and now here is the moments, that is the significant points that can be notified at the moments. Okay, now here we can see this is the Lionel Messi alias Messi Netanyahu. And here we can see this is the moments. Well, now what is 27.5 square? That is here 756.25. Now, what is 756.25 can be summed by 400, that is here 1156.25. And what is square root of 1156.25? Now let's check it. That is here, well, 34.0036763 meters. I mean here 34.00368 meters. Okay. Now we can notify here Lionel Messi alias Messi Netanyahu score velocity is 275,000 kilometer per second. I mean that would be here 275 million meter per second. Now let's check at the points. Here is my significant calculations at the moments. We could notify at some times 34.00368 can be divided by watts. Well, 275 millions. Now here that is almost 1.2365 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 7. That means here 0.12365 microseconds. Okay. Now let's check at the moments. Here we can see these points. Well, one striker's reaction. In this case, when the entire Argentine football team is anti-black and pro-Israel Argentina football teams, and in these cases, Lionel Messi alias Messi Netanyahu goal reaction time is 0.12365 and 0.12365 microseconds. And here, defender Martinez reaction time is 0.309 microseconds. And in as a defenders, as in midfielders here, Fernandez Netanyahu's reaction time is 0.243 microseconds. That is the significantly possible. Well, here we can see the points. Well, in these cases, what is the feminine velocities? Well, feminine velocity is 275,000 meter per second. I mean 275 kilometer per second. Okay, this is the feminine velocities. And now let's check it. What is the significant matters? Okay. Now in these cases, at the moment, well, now here is the points. That is here reaction times at the. It is about the mathematical points, about the geometrical points. Okay. Now let's come into the mechanical engineering moments. and here we can see the points. But first now, here let's check what is the weight of the footballs in FIFA World Cup 2026. Okay, now weight of foot weight of football in FIFA World Cup 2026. And now let's check at the moments, and here we can see the points. Just we have to wait and watch. When weight is here 44 apple guys, here weight is 450 grams. Okay, now let's check at the moments. Here we can see there is the weight matters. Okay, as an heaviest footballs. And now in this cases it is as a 0.45 kilograms, and that would be here what is half of weight of footballs, that is well 0. Okay, now here we can see this first. This do not consider that half of weights. And now, well, now let's compare about the masculine velocities. In this cases, at the moments, here is the significant times at that can be notified. Okay, what is 275 can be divided by 300. Well, and here we can see this modifiers at the points. That is football's velocity divided by velocity of lights is almost, just we have to it, that is almost, well, 0.9167. Now let's check this. What is the value of lambda subtract by 1? Okay. Now what is value of lambda subtract by 1? Well, here we can see the points. Now let's check it. Here is 1 divided by bracket of square root of bracket of 1 subtract by bracket of 0.9167, well, square, and enter bracket close. And now that is we could notify, well, the value of lambda is 2.50266. And now what is the value of lambda subtract by 1? That is here we can notify, that is the significant moments that can be here 1.50266. And now here is the momentums. And now let's check it. Well, and now what is the statistic energy of the football? We can notify at the points 0.45 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 16. Okay, and now let's check it. What's the meaning of the points? That is almost, well, 40.5. I apologize. 40.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 joules. Okay. Now let's check at the points. 40.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 joules. Well, it can be multiplied by what? 1.50266. Well, and here the kinetic energy is, well, 60.878 multiple by 10 to the power 15 joules. That means here we can say the response, it is almost, what is 15? That is 6 on my 9s, and here we can say the response, it is 60.878 billion megajoules. And now, here we can see the, now let's check the points when the energy is from the pro-Israel Argentine defenders Martinez. Then what is the kinetic force? Okay. Now here we can see the points. Well, 60 point. What's now here we can see the moments. Well, I can 60.858 multiple by 10 to the power 15 can be divided by words. Here 0. Well, 309. Now here we can see this points. Well. Here now 60.858 multiple by 10 to the power 15 can be multiple by, well, 10 to the power 7. Well, that can be divided by here 0.2, okay, 0.309. And now well, and here that can be multiple by 10. 1 divided by 10. Well, okay. Here it is the significant messages at the points. Well, and 60.858 multiple by 10 to the power 15. Well, that can be here 60.858 multiple by 10 to the power 15. That can be here multiple by 10 to the power 7. That can be divided by 3.09. And now what is the moments? Yes, we could find that is here kinetic power is to be, well, 196.96 multiple by 10 to the power 21 watts. And that is here the significant moments. In that cases, well, 196.96 quadrillions megawatt is the kinetic powers of pro-Israel Argentine defenders near Martinez. Now what about the fun on this? Well, we can see the response at the, well, what is 10 to the power 15 here? Some multiple by 10 to the power 7, that is here 10 to the power 22. And in these cases, here we can see the response 60.858 multiple by 10 to the power, what's we can see the response 10 to the power 22. That can be, well, divided by what's 2.43. And now it is almost here 250.5 quadrillions megawatts. And on the other hand, what about the Lionel Messi? Okay, well, now we can see the response. Well, 60.858, well, multiple by 10 to the power 22 can be divided by words. Well, 1.23. Well, that would be here 494.79 quadrillions megawatts. Well, here we can see the points. It is here pro-Israel Argentine football teams in sports. Now here pro-Palestine England Tiger sports at the moment. Well, here the method of kinetic power is here Isaac Newton's kinetic powers. Okay. Now let's check at the moments at the here is the significant times. Now here we can see one is 110 meter per hour. There 110 divided by 3600 enter meter per second. That means here 0.0306 meter per second. Okay. Now what is 0.0306 meter per second? What is 0.0306 square? That is here we can notify that is almost 9.3636 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 4. Okay. Now we can see the sparse here. It is now what is here half of weight of footballs, that is here we can notify at the pass 225 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 3. Okay. Now let's check at the moments what is the kinetic energies. Well, here we can see that is the notifications at the points. Well, now here okay. Now yes, we have to condense the travel times in seconds, and in this cases here we could notify at the points. Well, now here we have to complete the first ones. That is here we can not. Well, here we now here we consider points of it is here 5 times. Now let me condense separate. England's contains Pro-Palestine England football team contains the 4 layers. Well, here we can see here what is anti-contains positions. Here, that we can see this moments. Well, now 110 divided by 5, that is 22. 22 multiplied by 4. I mean 22 multiplied by 2 is 44. And in this cases, here we can notify about the what is 44 square. That is here 1936, and here in this cases, well 200. What is 20 square? That is 400. Here distance is 23 36. And what is the square root of 23 36? That is here 48.333. Now what is the travel times in these cases? When the velocity is 100 meter per hour, I mean 110 meter per hours. Now here we can see the spans 48.333. Okay, now here we can see the spans. Where's the moments? Okay, now here we can see this 48.333 multiplied by 3600 can be divided by what? 110. Okay, now we can see the moments here. Travel it is almost 1581.81 seconds. Okay. Now here is the points. What is the kinetic energies at the moment? Well, here we can see this moments. 10 to the power negative 4 enter multiple by 10 to the power negative 3, that is here 10 to the power negative 7. And here we can see these points. What is and here it is the calculations of 225.9. Because 225 multiplied by 9.3636. Okay. Now here we can say the points 225 can be divided by what? In this case, 225 can be divided by, well, 9.3636. Well, that can be divided by what? That can be divided by, well, 1581.81 multiplied by 10 to the power 7, bracket close. And now let's check at the moments, and here we can see the what is the kinetic force, and here we can see the sponge, that is, well, 0.1332 microwatts. Okay. Now here we can see this moments. Well, according with the kinetic force. Now let's check at the moments. What is pro-Palestine England footballers kinetic force and pro-Palestine England strikers kinetic force? That means that is here 0.1332 microwatts. On the other hand, our Lionel Messi alias Messi Netanyahu's kinetic power is almost here 494.79 quadrillions megawatts. Okay. Now pro-Palestinian Englander footballer strikers Anthony Gordon's kinetic power is 0.1332 microwatts. On the other hand, here we can notify that is the significant moments. We can the pro-Israel Argentine football teams defenders Martinez Netanyahu kinetic power is 196.96 quadrillions megawatts. And now let's take the points. What about the midfielders? Argentine midfielders to be Fernandez Netanyahu. Then we can see the points. Well, 250 Fernandez Netanyahu's kinetic power is 250.5 quadrillions megawatts, and pro-Palestine Englander strikers Anthony Gordon's kinetic power is 0.1332 microwatts. Where is 0.1332 microwatts, and where is 250.5 quadrillions megawatts? And now, in these cases, there is the significant moments here. Mufassil the mentals contains here brainless minds, and she does not know that why she supports pro-Palestinian England football teams. Here we can see those points accordance with Pythagoras theorem of geography, and here some kinetic powers, kinematics theories. Here we can contest in final decisions. Here we can, well, supporting pro-Palestine Englander football teams is the dangerous for the patriotic white British. And here we can see these moments. In those cases, I, Michael Caesar Santa, can clearly state that here it was the largest mistake of Englander governments to provide asylum to Mufassil the mentals. because we can see the points. Well, because of Mufassil the mental to be citizen of England for 20 years, we contest pro-Palestine Englander strikers Anthony Gordon with the kinetic powers of 0.132 microwatts, and but we lost here pro-Israel Englander footballers, I mean pro-Israel Englander defenders with the kinetic powers to be here 250.5 quadrillion megawatts. And now that is here significant dangerous momentums at the points. Okay. Now here we can see the that is the points to be notified, and it is the journeys at the points. That is significant journeys. Well, now what is 99 square? When the result of 297 divided by, well, now what is the 0.99 square, enter square? When 297 divided by 300 is 0.99. There is the significant moments. Well, 0.99 square is here 0.9801. Now what is the value of lambda subtract by 1? That is here we can notify 1 subtract by 0.9801, and now here we can see this moments. We can say that is the significant terms. The value of lambda subtract by 1 is almost 6.08882. Okay, and now we can now let's take the moments. Well, let me take a rest at the points. Here is sometimes. Okay. Now we go. What is the statistic energy of the football? That is 440.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 joules. And now we can notify the points here. What is here is the significant moments that can be calculated. 40.5 well multiplied by 10 to the power 15 joules can be multiplied by words that can be multiplied by 6.088882. Oh, here we can notify your kinetic energy should be 246.6 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 joules. Okay. Now here we can see the sponge here. Now let's check it. Well, in that cases, at the momentums at the points, well, what would be the 48.333 can be divided by 297 millions meter per seconds, and here we can see that would be 1.63 multiplied by 10 to the power -7. That means here and here you can see the response. Now 246.6 multiplied by what is 15 sum by 6, that is 21. That is now here 246.6 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 can be here divided by words, can be divided by here 0.163, and now that would be here words about the points. That is 1.513 multiplied by 10 to the power 24 watts. Okay. Now what is 24? That is here 6 multiplied by I have to guess what is 6 sum by 18. 6 sum by 18 is 24. And what is 18? That is here, well, 3 sum by 15. Okay. Now we can say the moments, it is almost 1.513 thousand quadrillions megawatts is megawatts. Now we can see the sponge. Here is the irony is that when pro-Israel Englander strikers kinetic powers would be here 1.513 thousand quadrillions megawatts. Here pro-Palestine Englander strikers kinetic powers is 0.1332 microwatts. And where is 0.1332 microwatts and where is 1.513 thousand quadrillions megawatts. And now we can see the points. Well, 20 years citizenship of Mufassil the Mentals, where Mufassil the Mental was citizens of England. Here now, well, Englander football team has been shipped from pro-Israel to pro-Palestine. And in these cases, the strikers' kinetic powers has been decreased from 1.513 thousand quadrillions megawatt to 0.1332 microwatts. And now 10 to the power negative 6 watts is 1 microwatts, and here we can see 1000 quadrillions megawatts is 10 to the power 24 watts. And now that is the simple words that here we can notify. Well, what is 24 sum by 6, that is 30s. And here we can say that the moments, well, 31. England's kinetic powers has been decreased here 10 to the power 31 tons. I mean 10 decillion tons when Mufassil the Mentals convert England football team from pro-Israel to pro-Palestine. And now that is the moment. In these cases, here is why it is the reality is the England government's largest mistake was to provide citizenship to the family of Mufassil the Mentals. And now that is their significant moments, and it is the dangerous points that can be here notified. And now, if Mufassil the Mentals did not state anything about the England, America and Israel, particularly if Mufassil the Mentals did not stress anything about the FIFA World Cup 2026, hence it is the last live stream of mine to roast the Mufassil the Mentals. And now, well, I think I will take a rest. See you then. Khuda Hafiz, love you. And here we can see the response. That is the significant love for you.